foam roller. Like I said, you're gonna use your foam roller for today. A pillow, ideally something kind of thick. This is a yoga pillow. And then a hand towel for neck support or for when we use it for our hands. We will start on our backs actually, without the foam roller, but have it to the side because we're going to use it in a second. If you do want your towel underneath your neck, go ahead and put that underneath your neck. It's not necessary. You're going to lie onto your back with your feet about the width of the mat. Check that you're even on your mat. You can always use your hands to see if you're in the center. I often end up on one side, so I have to even myself out. Good. And then your hands are gonna go up onto goalpost arms, where you bend at the elbows, or you take the hands behind the head. That can also help you support your neck if you didn't want to use the towel or just extra assistance. Take your knees to the right side about halfway, and then pull back towards the ceiling. And then go to the left side. You're only going a little bit. If you notice that when you go to the right side, left hip starts to lift off the mat, you went too far. So maybe it's more like 25% of the distance that you think. You're just trying to let the femur roll from side to side in the hip socket without altering the movement of the pelvis too much. Keeping our sides straight for the ceiling. If you're not sure about your neck, you want to have a lot of space for your throat, so let's try nose for the ceiling, and like your ears are being pulled to the back wall. Now, as your knees go over to the right, let them go as far as they want to. The left hip is going to lift, that's okay. Keep the left elbow down, and then squeeze the left glute to push the hip over a little bit more. It'll give you a hip stretch. And then slowly roll back down to go over to the other side. So as the knees go over to the left, you put a little bit of weight on the right elbow to help you stay anchored. And then you squeeze the right glute to help you lift the hip up to open up through the front of the right hip. And then you slowly lower back to center, continuing this pattern from side to side. Trying to fully engage through the top glute. This time it's the left one. And then slowly disengage to roll back to center. Good. On the next set, we're also going to add a rotation with the head. If for any reason that makes you dizzy or you don't like it, you can just omit that part. But as the knees go over to the right, you look for your left elbow or towards the left elbow. And then you slowly unroll, look for the ceiling, to look for the right elbow as the knees go to the left. Continuing this pattern 2 more times to each side. And once more. Good. Then you'll roll back to center. Extend the legs long. Now take your arms up for the ceiling. Imagine like you're holding on to a bar and you're taking the bar back. See how far you could take that bar before it feels like you wouldn't be able to hold it. The bar weighs 10 pounds. Okay, and then back up to the ceiling. Now reach back to where you would feel that bar again. And then see if the shoulder blades can become a little bit wider on the mat. Then you're going to start to lift your head and shoulders off the mat to curl up a little bit. You just look for your toes. And then you lower back in. Then we do that 3 more times, where you reach between your arms to curl. And then you lower back in. And then 2 more times, staying connected to your back with your arms. And if that doesn't make sense, don't worry, we're gonna go over it a little bit more today. If you need to use your towel to support your head, you can. And then you're done with those. Yay! Take your hands behind your head. You can look up for your toes to give yourself a little stretch. And then lower yourself back down. Sitting up however you need to. You could also just continue on with that movement and sit all the way up. Let's grab onto your pillow to sit on that. Let's take both legs out to the side to a straddle that's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be the biggest one that you can do. Just a pretty comfortable one. Good. If you feel like you're kind of rounded and back and like you can't really do much, it's because you probably are, and we want to sit you a little bit taller. So make sure you have a pillow underneath you that's big enough to prop you up a little bit. Your hands will stay on the foam roller, just your fingertips. Let's imagine like your fingertips have adhesive and you just glued yourself to the foam roller. Then take the right hand to the center, push lightly into it. Again, it has adhesive on there. Like if you could pick up the foam roller, it's hard, don't try it. Take the other hand up toward the ceiling, and then your elbow and your armpit will reach for the ceiling as you stay keeping the same amount of pressure on the foam roller. And then you pull back to center. And then we do it again. Going over and pulling up. 3 more times. 2. Good job. And once more. Then switching sides, that hand lowers. You try and make little indentations into your foam roller with your fingertips. Other arm up, elbow and armpit reach up to the ceiling, and then up. Good. Your feet are relaxed in whatever position they want to be in. You can always just give them like a little look and check them out to see what they like to do. A couple more times. Good. If you notice that your toes like to really pull back from the big toe, that's just something to make a mental note of and let me know. Take that arm down. Keep holding onto the foam roller. We're going to go forward with a flat back. So you go as far forward as you're happy with. And then you pull yourself back up nice and tall. And we do that 2 more times. And then once more. Now we round forward, peeling forward. And yes, I'm always singing the Peel the Banana song when I do this. In my head, mostly. 1 more time. Good. And you're gonna just let the foam roller be. Your hands are gonna go to your legs, very gentle. You'll start gliding towards one ankle and just keeping your head in alignment with your spine as you do that. And you'll come up to go over to the other side. Good. If it feels like your head drops, that's because it did. Try and stay just in alignment. And if you don't know how to do that, imagine like you have a parrot on your shoulder and you don't want to smush it as you go over to that side, so you just give it space. Yes, I had a parrot as a child. I had all kinds of animals. A couple more to each side. And now we're going to add the opposite arm. So as you lean to the right, the left arm will round forward and up. And it'll round forward and down. And you'll do that 3 times in front of you. Once more. Stay up at the top. And to come out of it, you'll round back, and then the hand will reach to the opposite knee to go over to the other side. The arm will swing forward to round up, and then back down. And you do that again in front of you, and then back down like the elbow is leading, because it is. We hold, and then it goes back around to reach for the opposite knee to go over. And then we just circle in front, around, and we come up. Over to the other side, in front, around, and we come up. 3 more to each side. Typically by the third one, it doesn't feel like such a big stretch and it feels more comfortable and like you're just stretching in a really comfortable way. And if it doesn't, you can let me know. I'm like, I don't think I'm crazy. One more time.
You're totally crazy.
Once more to this side. And then you're going to keep your foam roller long ways on your mat. We're going to go on it, butt will be here, head will be here. So, carefully sit at the very end. So, once you're on your foam roller, sacrum heavy, head is heavy, just balance yourself out. Your hands can be to the side on the mat. Walk your feet about shoulder width. I'm taking a few breaths, trying to send the breath to the side and the back of the rib cage. And then when you exhale, you keep the shoulder blades heavy towards the ground. Let's lift the arms up above us. Palms are going to face towards each other. The arms are going to open out to T to shoulder height, and then back up to the ceiling. So we're only opening out to shoulder height, and back up. If the foam roller continued on the ground, or the height of the foam roller was the ground, that's as far as the arms go. Good. You become T, and then the arms go up. 3 more. 2. Keep the arms out, palms stay facing up. Pinky down for the hips as far as the shoulders stay open. And then back up to T. Trying to make your shoulder blades as parallel towards the ground so that they take up space. Good. We're just going out to T and back down to the hips. These are often called snow angels, but since our legs are not included, I just imagine that it's my wings. Let's turn these to circles, reaching down for the hips, then up for the ceiling, and out to the sides. It's like you're picking up a bunch of flowers and then about to toss them behind you, and you go out to the sides. Now you can start letting your hands go up and overhead, as long as your arm stays connected to your back. If you don't know what that feels like, it could feel like your arm feels like it gets stuck back there, or like it went into a place where you can't move it very well without having to like move around it in a weird way. So you're just going in a range that is easy for you to control, and it's easy for you to keep your shoulders wide. So, gathering up flowers and tossing them over. 2 more times. And then reversing those, reaching down for the hips, out to the side, up and over. We are still staying above the height of the foam roller. Good. 3 more. And then reach your hands down for the ground. Elbows push into the ground, hands push into the ground. You're going to open up through the collarbone as much as you can, arms to the side. You're going to take the left leg to tabletop, which is a 90-degree angle at the knee and the hip. Once your knee is at tabletop, it will pull in towards your chest as far as you can control it, and then you'll reach it away towards the opposite wall. If that seems like totally impossible, only move in a range that you're happy with, where your knee comes in towards you and a little bit away from you. Just going in a range where you can balance. This is my difficult side, so sometimes I do big ones, other times I test out the big range. You have the option of testing any range that you feel you need work in. Good. Try 3 more on this side. If you happen to notice that you are a little wobbly, engage your glutes to help you stabilize. And keep the weight even on the right foot. Then once you finish your last one, place your foot down. Reorganize your body until you feel even. You might notice that your lower abdomen did a little bit of like fun work to help you do that. And the other leg comes up, and same thing, you'll pull the knee in, and then you'll press it away. Trying to stay balanced. Testing whatever range you need for the knee to pull close to the body and away from the body. You can picture your femur like a lever. Your femur is your thigh bone, and it just pulls away and back in. Try 3 more. 2. Last one. Good. Then that leg lowers. And then we're going to take the right arm up to the ceiling, palm facing in, and the left leg up to the ceiling. Then the arm and the leg are going to reach away from the body and then back where they started. Then you continue that pattern, and if you think about it, it's just the femur, the upper leg bone, and the humerus, the upper arm bone, rolling in their socket away and back in. They're both ball and socket joints. 2 more. And then once more. Then the right arm lowers, the left arm goes up. The leg and the arm pull away from each other and back to starting position. Same type of movement. It just will feel a little bit different, and you'll feel your obliques engage more on this side. Good. Few more. Last 2. And last one. Good. Arm and leg lower. Right leg goes up. Left arm goes up. Arm and leg extend away from the body and pull back into the body. And keeping the other foot, the left foot, heavy onto the ground so that you feel the sole of the foot taking up space. Couple more. Oh, this side is so difficult for me. Once more. Place the arm down. Take the right arm up to the ceiling. Right arm, right leg extend away from each other and back to each other. Good. Very nice. It's like your foot pushes the wall away, and then the wall comes back in. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Lower the foot, lower the arm. Good. Hands can go down to help you sit yourself up, or you can roll off to the side, whatever makes you happy. I'm okay with. You'll get off of there carefully. Good. The foam roller is going to be underneath the knees next. So, on your back. Well, first sit, foam roller under the knees. So you can go on your back. Lift your hips up. And the foam roller goes under your hips. Good job. Once you're there, one leg to tabletop followed by the other. Pull both knees in as as tight as you can. Make sure the roller stays there. Give yourself a hug and take a few breaths here. Let the knees go up toward the ceiling. Your arms can open out to the side. Make your arm and the palms up to the ceiling. Make them heavy until you feel your upper back work. Long neck, pull the right knee in, and then the left foot away from you so that your toes touch down for the ground. And then you're gonna switch. So as you're doing this, you can just dictate the movement from the knees, where one knee pulls into you and the other one pushes away until the big toe touches the ground. The knee that pulls into you comes as close to you as possible. Then the other one will reach as far away as possible. So first pull the knee in and the other one away. Good. And you'll feel a stretch through the front of the leg that's lowering down. You can squeeze that glute a little bit to give you more length. Couple more. Pull the right knee in, grab onto it, give it a little pull, left leg up, toes will point for the ceiling and flex, and point and flex. Just going through the movement. The foot will stay relaxed, reach away as far as you can. Then it's like you're standing onto that wall, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take the leg to the ceiling, bend the knee in to switch sides. Other leg will reach up, and you just point and flex your foot. Pulling the left knee in. Good job. Then keeping the foot relaxed, the leg will lower until you feel like you're standing into it. Then once you're standing, flex and point. Okay. Then keep the foot slightly pointed from the ankle to bring the leg back up and pull it back in. Good. Take your knees back up. Do that split once more where one knee comes in and the other one switches. Just make a note of how this feels when you lead from the knees. And then let's take your legs for the ceiling to point and flex the feet 3 times. Then let the legs separate about hip width. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Knees into each other and away from each other. And then both knees to the right, both knees to the left. You can look at your feet and see what they're doing, if they're even, or if one likes to lead from the outside edge, or if your toes like to do funny stuff. Or maybe you look perfect and that's awesome. Good. Then let the feet relax. One leg pulls towards you, the other one goes away. Just to where it feels like you start to stretch and try and pull a little bit more. And then switch the legs. Your palms are pressing down towards the mat now. Your chest will be open. And switch, just going through the legs a few times. One more like this. And make a note of how far you're getting with your stretch. Now, bend the knees. Let's do the split knee again here, where you pull in, leading with the knees, reaching the toes down, and switch. And now keep the sensation of leading with the knees, and slowly start to straighten your legs as you lead with the knees to see if it changes the range that you are working in. Typically, it gives you a lot more movement. Fun little tricks there. Just lead from the knees. Couple more to each side. And then reaching for the right leg, giving yourself a little pull, pull to switch, pull, pull, switch for 3, 3, 2, 2. Last set. 1 and 1. Good. Both legs for the ceiling. Your hands can grab onto your hips to help you make sure that you're staying even. You're only going to let the right leg go out as far as the left one stays straight for the ceiling, and it's going out to the side. And then it goes back up. Once you get to the top, you switch. Only going as far out as your hips stay even and the leg stays up. And back up. And you keep going from side to side. Good. After you even out both sides, we're going to switch the pattern to going out on the same side too, as far as you can, and then cutting it to 50% same side, and then 25% same side, then switching over to the left all the way, then to 50%, then to 25, and again right side, 50%, 25%, and then to the left. 50 and 25. Good. Legs come overhead a little bit, actually quite a bit, and then away from the body. When you pull towards you, imagine like you're trying to lift your feet up and over. And when the legs go away, purposely engage through the glutes to help you support the weight of the leg and feel your abdomen kick in. If the hands can firmly press into the mat, if that helps you, they can stay holding onto the hips, maybe the foam roller, whatever makes you happy right now, I'm okay with. Good. And we're going to circle. Circles will be feet over the head, about the width of the shoulders to lower, together and up. That was really wide. Triangle a little bit smaller. That cue was for me, possibly everyone. And then do start testing out different size circles, where maybe you separate just a couple of inches apart to lower, together and up, and then maybe you go a little bit bigger each time. Or if you decide to be adventurous, you can make a really big circle and then a really small one, or just a bunch of big ones, you decide. Good. As long as you figure out what shoulder width apart is, every other range is fine to try out. And then reversing these, going down through center to separate at the bottom, to lift up and over. See if the movement could be led from the knees. One more time. And then going to frogs. Your frogs can go up for the ceiling, or for where the ceiling meets the wall. You'll bend your knees in, and then you'll reach away. Pulling towards you and away. Good. Imagine like your ankles, well, the heels stick together and they are on an imaginary track that you push away and you pull back down the same track. There's a really heavy box that you have to push up the track, and then you have to control the box back down. 3 more times. Good. 2. And once more. Now pull your knees in, give yourself a hug, and go a little bit from side to side until the foam roller is like, I want to run away. You can let it run away, or you can push it away slowly. Take your feet to the top of the foam roller. Your hands can be behind your head. It can be out to goalpost arms. You could use your towel for your neck if you'd like. And just start rolling your feet back and forth. Just where it feels comfortable. And then start rolling until your ankles go over. Check to make sure that it's straight. Mine's almost straight. And then pull back in towards you. Good. Pressing out until your ankles go over. And then you pull back in towards the toes. Reach all the way away. All the way back in. When you reach all the way out and over to straight legs, engage the glutes on purpose and flex the feet like if you were standing. And see if you can keep some of that engagement as you pull in, so that the sacrum stays heavy and you feel your lower abdomen work. 2 more times. Once more. And then we're going to keep the feet on top, right on the top of the apex of the arc, not the arc, the foam roller. Hands long to your side. For this one, if you have a towel, you can take out your towel so that you don't smush your neck too much. So, pressing into the mat, shoulders wide. And start lifting your hips up for the ceiling, one bone at a time. And then lowering back down. And we'll do that a few more times, keeping the shoulders heavy to lift the hips up. And then lower down. 3 more times. Lift. And lower. Last 2. If you got tired like 5 ago, you could have stopped. That's okay. Once more. Now take your legs out straight so that the ankles are over the foam roller. Heels together, squeeze the legs into each other, and then taking the arms up for the ceiling, connect to your back. You're going to sit all the way up. Ooh. Let's have the sacrum up against the wall. About your own foot length away from the wall in a Pilates. We just heels together to a slightly apart. Then your shoulders up against the wall, nice long neck. Start with a few breaths, inhaling into the abdomen. As you exhale, keep pulling in the abdomen. Again, breathe in, prep through the abs. As you exhale, roll forward as far as the sacrum stays on the wall. The hands will roll, circle in one direction for 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circles for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the arms just kind of hang. The inhale preps the abdomen. The exhale takes you back up 1 vertebra at a time, all the way up top. Breathe in, prep. Exhale, roll forward. Again, as far as the sacrum can stay on the wall. No arm circles, you just go down. Take an inhale. Exhale brings you back up. And then you guys are all set for today. Good job.